Why my teacher made me rewrite one sentence 100 times. Juliet was just 16 when a single school assignment rewired the way she thought, wrote, and lived. She studied in a fast, competitive city school, the kind where students tried to sound intelligent, not to be clear, where English was used as decoration, not as meaning. One day, the class was asked to write a short paragraph. Describe someone who shaped your life. Juliet chose to begin with a sentence she believed was brilliant. She wanted it to sound poetic, sophisticated, impressive. She wrote, "My mother is an embodiment of celestial resilience, orchestrating the symphony of my existence." She was proud of it. She believed that sentence made her look educated, refined, superior. The next day, their teacher, Miss Eleanor, a strict but deeply respected woman, walked around reading the openings of every student's assignment. When she reached Juliet's paper, she didn't even finish the first sentence. She stopped reading, looked up, and fixed her eyes on Juliet with a silence that froze the classroom. Then she spoke only 4 words. "Rewrite this 100 times." There was a shock in the room. Juliet's face collapsed in humiliation. 100 times? For a sentence she thought was brilliant? After class, she approached the teacher, voice trembling, and asked, "Ma'am, may I ask why?" Miss Eleanor did not soften her tone. She simply said, "Because you wrote words, not meaning. Rewrite it until you understand what you are trying to say." That single line was the real lesson. That evening, Juliet sat at her desk, forced to repeat the sentence over and over again. First, she wrote with irritation, then with embarrassment, then with exhaustion. But repetition is a mirror. The more she wrote, the more she saw. By the 30th rewrite, the sentence began to feel empty. By the 60th, she realized the truth. She wasn't writing about her mother. She was writing to impress other people. By the 80th, she began searching her mind. What is actually true about my mother? What do I really mean? By the 100th, her pride had dissolved, and clarity had been born. The next morning, she turned in the pages. Miss Eleanor didn't even glance at them. She looked Juliet straight in the eyes and said, "Now recite the sentence again, but this time, tell the truth." Juliet took a breath and spoke, not to impress, but to mean it. "My mother is the strongest person I know, because she keeps going even when life gives her no reason to." This time, Miss Eleanor nodded, not dramatically, but with firm approval. Then she delivered the sentence Juliet would carry for the rest of her life. Good writing is not when people admire your words. Good writing is when people feel your meaning. That day, Juliet learned what thousands of students never discover. Real English is not about complexity. It is about clarity. You do not write to look intelligent, you write to make truth visible. You do not speak to decorate, you speak to deliver meaning. From that day forward, Juliet changed. She stopped chasing big words. She stopped writing to impress teachers. She began writing to express truth. She rewired her thinking before forming her sentences. She learned to rewrite, not because she was wrong, but because refinement is how meaning becomes strong. Years later, Juliet became an English teacher. And when she sees her students hiding behind vocabulary the way she once did, she tells them exactly what her teacher told her. Meaning first, beauty later, truth before decoration. And she teaches them that rewriting is not punishment. Rewriting is self-discipline. Rewriting trains clarity. Rewriting forces honesty. Rewriting is how you grow. Because sometimes the sentence you rewrite is the sentence that rewrites you. Juliet never forgot her teacher's lesson, and today she teaches others the same principle. You do not become a powerful communicator by sounding complex. You become one by being understood. You do not become a strong thinker by writing once. You become one by rewriting until you uncover truth. You do not grow by protecting your pride. You grow by allowing correction. And maybe this was Miss Eleanor's real message all along. Life will force you to rewrite yourself again and again. Not to humiliate you, but to reveal who you are beneath performance. Because the day Juliet rewrote a sentence 100 times was the day she learned how to rewrite her life.